Alright, welcome back to Her Story. Let's do this. What if I put in Her Story? Holy shit, it got a hit.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me.
She didn't like that.
Present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy.
Oh,
Smashed
yeah.
the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round.
There we go.
Cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Hannah killed Simon, but where was Glasgow? She would have had to been in Glasgow. I mean, if people can affirm her whereabouts in Glasgow, but that was Eve, although they're the same person technically because they identify as the same person. So with the mirror that Eve got from Simon as Hannah, Simon was cheating with Eve, who pretended to be someone else, well, herself. Eve pretended to be herself, but then Hannah decided to be Eve. And they got the same present. Whoa. Whoa. And that's why she killed him. She was just so upset. Although they say it was an accident, I don't fucking buy that.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up. A wig? You mean... But what type of wig?
The type you put on your head, dumbass.
No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
That's a lie.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything.
It's you.
Have you looked at the cat flap?
The hell's a cat flap?
No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it. Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake. He saw me singing
Who?
one of my shows.
Simon. It was
Pure
Simon.
chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar.
And you were wearing your wig.
We got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously, I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome. Well, that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
There we go. We got the motive. We have the motive. Cheating. God damn. I thought it was going to be really convoluted, but it's actually quite simple. Wow. And I'm sure there's more that we can just pick up on, but honestly, I think we got the core basis of what happened. Let's see if we can get any conviction. Nothing. What about jail? What about caught?
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing.
Different.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Golly.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the
Still
bar.
pretend to be Hannah, huh?
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing in the bar again and there he was. And again the next week. He offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic. No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
She probably asked who the father was.
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on. We got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at. The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think.
No, you
I
didn't.
haven't looked at it since.
Oops, I meant to write same. Samesies.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page. Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations.
And yet the only person you were being was Hannah.
Permutations of future events. and agree rules to walk our way through them. Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
Okay, so we can either put in romantic or hotel. So I'm going to put in hotel first. And that's one hit.
And the hotel said he was there?
Romantic.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Well, the irony is part of the reason why he was murdered.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.